Okay, this is a tutorial on how to make interesting shapes and turn them into some layers for laser cutting. So this is going to be some symmetrical shapes that we're going to make using Revolve. So let's make a new artboard. So I'm going to hit Command N and just take the first one that's here. That's fine. So let's take a basic shape, and I just have the default black and white color. And I think I'm going to pull out my layers window just so we can kind of see what's happening as I change things. So here's the layers window. I'm going to open it up, and it'll sort of help explain things that we're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a basic shape. I'm going to take an ellipse right here and just draw just a basic ellipse. Now I'm going to hit the rotate tool. Looks like this is also the R on the keyboard. So I'm going to click on the rotate tool, and holding my option key down, I can determine where the center of the rotation will be. So holding the option key down, I can then click below it and say, well, that will be my center. Now when you do that, it will rotate it by some degrees here. You know, let's say when 10 degrees, maybe. Here, I've got the preview thing checked here. There's 10 degrees. Here's 20 degrees. That's 279 degrees. But let's just say I'm going to do, I don't know, 10 degrees. Oh, 10. Okay, how do I make it stay 10? I don't know. Okay, I just turned the preview on and off. That shows 10. Okay, and then I'm going to click copy. So it'll be a copy of a 10-degree rotation. And then if I want to continue copying this rotation, I can hit Option D, which is a duplicate. Option D for duplicate. I'm sorry, it's not Option D. It is Command D. Command D for duplicate. And that is what will continue this duplication here. Command D. If you're on a PC, I guess that would be a Control D. Up into the last one. Now you are seeing the stroke and the fill on all of this. If I want, I can select all this, and we can just look at the stroke only by making the fill be blank. I just did that down here in the corner. So now there it is. So this is all stroke, no fill. So that's a pretty cool shape. Now if you were going to cut this out, there'd be a problem because it would cut out this outside area here, right? And everything else would just drop through. You'd just be cutting in a big hole that's this outside shape. So that's not, you know, even though it's an interesting pattern, it's not particularly useful for a laser cutter. So let's try to make this a little bit more useful. So I'm going to select all of this, and let's just all first of all look at what this layer has in it now. Each circle, each ellipse has its own path inside layer 1. So you can see that in my layers now. So what I want to do is I'm going to turn this into one compound path. So it's a single path instead of all these separates. And so I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to say Object Compound Path Make. You can see it's also Command 8 if you want to learn quick keys. And so now you see all those single ellipses are gone, and it just shows one single compound path. Now this will start to make sense why I'm doing this in just a moment. So now I'm going to take my stroke. Here's the stroke window, and I'm going to make it larger than the 1 point that it's defaulting to here. Maybe I'll make it maybe 10. 10 looks pretty good, because wouldn't it be cool if it would leave the black area uncut and it would just cut out these little white windows right here. Then you'd actually have something you can cut out without dropping everything through. Okay, so I've just made the stroke larger. And then I'm going to say object what am I doing here? I'm going to go outline stroke. So object path outline stroke. So this is going to put a stroke outline on the outer edges of this stroke. See that? So now the stroke itself, that thick stroke, becomes the fill. And it puts a very thin stroke around the outer edge. Okay, that's a bit more interesting. See what it did there. Now, this still is going to drop through because of this area right here is going to be the outermost cut on the laser. And let me actually make this into a default black and white again, just so you can see the new stroke. Okay, so there is a new stroke. So you see, it'll still drop everything out. That's still not good. But wouldn't it be cool if I could just take this outer edge right here, which is the problem edge. So I select it right now with my little selector, my partial, what's called direct selection tool. And if I hit delete twice, it removes just that outer stroke. Now it's going to cut out this window and this window and this little window, and it will cut out almost a circle in the middle, and maybe that's not so good either. So I could do the same thing to the middle. I could select just the middle now, hit delete twice, and now it's going to cut out a bunch of little windows. And so now you can see, make this a little bigger here. Now you can see, you know, it's going to cut out this window, that window, that window, and everything, you know, nothing's going to drop through. It's just going to cut out these little windows. So that's pretty cool for the laser cutter. So this can be done with all kinds of interesting shapes. Let me take all of this. I'm just going to delete this whole thing. And let's just draw something now with a pen tool. Just some random weird shape with my pen tool. Okay, just whatever, something weird and random. And I'll do the same thing I just did. I'm just going to sort of repeat this process now, where I'm going to click on the rotate tool, hold my option key while I choose the center of the rotation. So option and click right here. And you see there's a 10-degree rotation. Maybe I'll make it, I don't know, 15. Just make it a little bit more, I don't know. Hit copy. And so there's two of them. And then I'm going to hit Command D to continue on around. One more, there we go. So that's a pretty interesting shape there. And let's just continue on doing the exact same thing that we did before, and you see how it's all a bunch of separate paths. I want to select all of them, go object and say compound path make. Now it's just a single path. I'm going to change the stroke to be bigger. 8, looks pretty good. I mean, I have these little white windows here. These are right there, these little tiny ones. That's kind of cool. And then I want to outline this stroke again, you know, outline that, make a new stroke like that. So I had object, what was it, path, outline stroke. Bam, an outline of the stroke. And just so I can see it better, I'll go back to the default colors, where the stroke is black and the interior is white, the fill. And now you can see all the little windows that are going to be cut out, except for this outer path needs to go away, otherwise it's all going to drop through. And this inner path needs to go away, or else it's all going to drop through. So I'll go to my direct selector tool, select just that outer path, hit delete twice and get rid of it. Select the inner path, hit delete twice and get rid of it. And now I've got, again, a bunch of windows that can be cut out. So that's the end of this tutorial. And the next one I'm about to do, I'll then show you how to do multiple layers of this.